Froakie Community Day has been confirmed, so let's go over all the important details, tips, and tricks you need to know to get one of the coolest shinies in Pokemon Go. On August 13th from 2 to 5 p.m, this Community Day will in fact be featuring the fan favorite Pokemon, Froakie. If you want a Froakie with a perfect IV, the most common CPs you can catch it at are going to be highlighted in this chart below. Now, the non-highlighted numbers can also be hundos, but they aren't guaranteed like these highlighted ones are. For the new moves, Greninja will learn 2 of them during this event, where the first one will be the legacy move Hydro Cannon, and the other will be a new fast attack called Water Shuriken, which Greninja can learn even after the event's over. As for the damage, Hydro Cannon is going to deal the usual 80 damage and cost 40 energy in PvP, while Water Shuriken will deal 6 damage and provide 14 energy, which, by the way, makes this move one of the best in the game by surpassing Mud Shot and Thunder Shock as one of the best fast attacks. As always, a special research story ticket will be available for $1 that gives you access to certain tasks to get Froakie and its evolutions, and we'll be getting a bunch of event bonuses this time, which include triple Stardust, double catch candies, lore modules and incense that will last 3 hours, boosted shiny rates for Froakie, 1 extra special trade with 50% less Stardust for trading, field research tasks to get Froakies, event themed stickers, and if you take some snapshots, you have a few extra Froakie encounters. In addition, from 5 to 10 p.m, you'll be able to battle Frogadier in 4-star raids that will spawn more Froakie for 30 minutes around the gym if you win, which will also have the same shiny odds as during the event. Now that we covered the details, let's dive into the Froakie Community Day tips and tricks to maximize your rewards during this event. Starting with the 100 IVs for Froakie, we're going to revisit the 100 IV chart, which show all the CPs for a perfect IV'd Froakie starting from level 1 all the way to level 50, but there are only a few that you should really be paying attention to. Starting with the Froakies found through field research, they will always be caught at level 15, which means the 100 IV will always be 425. However, if you're looking to just catch them in the wild, specifically with no weather boost, then the highest level they can be caught at is level 30, which has a CP of 851. If you happen to have them weather boosted, then the highest level they can be is level 35, which has a CP of 921 instead. Other than that, all the other CPs under level 35 can also be caught in the wild, but they aren't guaranteed like the other ones I just mentioned, so to be safe, I recommend just catching as many as you can or focus on the field research tasks. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that even if you don't get a hundo, some of these IVs can be more beneficial than others because of PvP, so let's go through the best IVs for Greninja in Great, Ultra, and Master League. In the Great League, the number 1 IV rank for Greninja is going to be 3, 15, and 12, and for the Ultra League, you're looking at a 1, 15, and 15 IV instead. Now, these IVs are going to provide the best possible stat combinations that will maximize its productivity, but in general, for both leagues, anything with a low attack that has a high defense and health will work just fine. So as you can see from this chart, even the 3, 13, and 14 IV will still give you the 6th best Greninja IV in Ultra League. Finally, for the Master League, Greninja doesn't really play a factor here, but it can be a sneaky water choice in Master League Premier, since Water Shuriken can charge Hydro Cannon faster than any Pokemon that can learn this move. Now, with all that IV talk, we have to ask the common question, is Greninja actually any good in Pokemon Go? The short answer is maybe, and that depends on if you like to battle in PvP and have the right moveset. Otherwise, it's just a nice collection Pokemon. For example, like when it comes to raiding, there are currently way more reliable Pokemon you can use that'll still last longer. So if I had to compare Greninja to one we're all familiar with, it would be like using Rampardos that has high attack but a lower defense. Now, you will get some decent usage out of this Pokemon in the Great and Ultra League, especially with these new moves it learns with a little bit of strategy. So Greninja will become the spammiest Pokemon with Hydro Cannon because of how fast Water Shuriken charges it up. So if you use it at the tail end of your team, you can really apply some pressure that we haven't really seen too much of recently. Now, if the IVs and the battling don't spike your interest, you can still take advantage of the bonuses happening during this event. So since we'll be getting triple Stardust, instead of getting 100 Stardust per catch, it'll be boosted to 300 because of the bonus, and if you pop a star piece as well, you'll get an additional 50% of that, which means you'll get a total of 450 Stardust per catch. Now, another bonus you could take advantage of is the double catch candy. So if you aren't aware, instead of getting 3 candies per catch, you'll be getting 6 because of the bonus, and if you use a pin-up berry, you'll get double that amount, which means you can get up to 12 candies every single time you catch a Froakie. So if you're very low on Froakie candies, I highly recommend doing this a few times. Finally, that leads us to the medals and which ones you should focus on during this event. So as a reminder, if you want to level up from level 48 to 49, you will need to have 35 different platinum medals completed, so it never really hurts to start focusing on these now, especially during community days. With that being said, the first one to focus on will of course be the Swimmer medal, where you'll need to catch 2,500 water type Pokemon. So if you haven't completed it yet, you have a great opportunity here since Froakie is a water type Pokemon. The next one to take advantage of will be the Scientist medal, which requires you to evolve 2,000 Pokemon. So with that double double candy bonus, you can get a ton of candy and evolve Froakie to Frogadier, which only costs 25 candy. And last but not least, the Pokemon Ranger medal. So you'll be able to get some easy field research tasks during this event, such as catching Froakie or making a couple curved throws. So you'll be able to make some good progress on this one since it requires you to complete 2,500 field research tasks. With that being said, those are my Froakie Community Day tips and tricks. This has been one of the more anticipated events because it features a fan favorite Pokemon that has a pretty cool shiny. So if there are any other tips that you have in mind, make sure you leave a comment and share it with everyone else. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.